Alright everyone, I am going to do a video that I was saying I was going to do. My hair's on as a fuzzball. I don't know what it is. I feel like my allergies are acting up or something. Because, like, I'm not thinking I'm, like, sick or anything. It's just, I don't know what it is. So, I apologize if my allergies sound like too much. Anyways, I was going to do a video about my journey of being a North Node in Aquarius. My best way of describing, like, we each of us, I mean, you can always go online to look at your birth chart, because when it comes to astrology, we're all affected by each of the planets. We're all affected by the energy. When we come into this life, um, we we come with different life lessons, and we come with different abilities and talents, and to master those things. Now, some of us, we have to, you know, some of us, it takes a while for us to learn who we truly are. And I think a lot of that has to do with our North Node. So my North Node is an Aquarius. I'm a Cancer Sun, a Libra rising, Libra moon, and Pisces rising. So I have all of those affecting me. So I'm a very sensitive person. Um, but I don't really talk about the North Node or the South Node, and my South Node's in Leo. So if you have different, uh, like go on cafeastrology.com, and it will go through the process of looking at what your sun sign, what's your moon sign, and it will read into what type of person you are and understand yourself better. Let's see. So my North Node is an Aquarius. So I feel like my journey of a North Node in Aquarius is kind of the opposite, because it's funny. Aquarius is opposite of Leo, and Leo is opposite of Aquarius. So in a past life, I feel like I may have been in some position where I had maybe popularity, I was famous, maybe an actress, maybe someone that was important to society of some kind, maybe a queen. I don't know. Because usually Leos, whether they're male or female, they have that kind of aspect, that sassy aspect, that they are, what is it called? Like a queen. They want to be treated like a queen, you know? And so in that past life, I may have had all those things. And now, as I came into this life, which I was born in 1990, June 29, 1990. And so, around the time frame I was born, I came into the North Node was in Aquarius. So, at a time frame where, like, it's weird because we're in the years of Aquarius, because Uranus is in Taurus, so it's kind of the Aquarius time frame plus Taurus as well. So in this life, I'm learning to not be so much in the spotlight of things, not being prideful, not living by the ego, because Leos, they pretty much they are the sun. They are a reflection of the God energy. And so I'm more of observant. I'm more of a person of humanity, a humanitarian. So I'm learning about how to be myself, my authentic self, and helping and being a teacher to people, being a healer of some kind. Because one thing you don't may not know about Aquarius is Aquarius, they're like a mysterious or mystical healer. If you look up like an Aquarius and stuff, a lot of people don't know that, but they're healers in some way of the earth and connected with it. So my journey with being on the North Node of Aquarius is, I feel like I've come across a lot of people who a lot of people who are an Aquarius. I didn't realize the picture. It's like picture of us. Like I don't want to get distracted. uh, anyways, is I've came across a lot of Aquarius. I feel like whatever your North Node is, you'll come across a lot of people of those, or people like nature. And I feel like I'm at the point in my life where I'm starting to evolve as a person. And I really consider myself as a person. It's like when I look at people here on Earth, they're like, observing what people are doing is like, what's wrong with humanity? What's wrong with humans? Like I see myself almost like I'm not part of this world, you know? It's really weird. Um it's just really weird because I feel like when it comes to an Aquarius, we can be cold and detached, or they say Aquarius are usually cold and detached. For me, that's kind of interesting because I'm a Cancer. So, if I don't trust you, if I feel like I can't open up to you, it's no go for me. You know, I'll be shy at first, but I feel like that aspect of the Aquarian, especially with that being my North Node, I can kind of fall on that or pick up on that energy where it's like try to see, because like with my Libra moon, I see two sides of things, but I think also too with having a North Node in Aquarius is I'm coming to the understanding that I can pick myself out of that situation, see it from the outsider's perspective. And I feel like at this point in my life, I'm starting to evolve, starting to see things more clearly. Because I feel like in a past time, in this like past years, I would always come from the place of the ego. And I think a lot of it is my background that I was in. Like my mom, um, she was more of the leader in the home. My dad was more of the side person, like the that watched things happen and stuff. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I just feel like a lot of as I'm getting older, I'm starting to pick up on my traits of my parents and understand there's some good and bad traits that I don't really want to associate. And I think too because my mom's a Leo, my dad's a Pisces, so it's kind of understanding how they are as a person and understanding, how easily we can be influenced by our parents. And I think what's fascinating about astrology is usually whatever your parents have, not all the children, if they have siblings, but you kind of have some aspects of your parents. Like for me, it's really funny. My dad's a Pisces and I have a Pisces rising. My mom's a Leo and I have a South Node in Leo. So I think it's getting out of the ego in this life and becoming more of, like, also I've learned too from some Aquarius, one person I worked with who's an Aquarius, it opened my mind a little bit about Aquarius that they don't like to be limited. They don't like to be in some type of label. And I feel like recently I've come to that place on this journey of the North Node in Aquarius is not to put on labels, not to identify with a certain label, certain religion, a certain belief, and just really become your own person, become more independent of yourself. Let's see, some of my other qualities I have in my birth chart, like the major ones, is Uranus, Saturn, and Mercury, Jupiter. Okay, let's see if I can remember this. Alright, so like I said, my sun is in Cancer, my moon is in Libra, my rising is in Pisces, my Mercury is in Cancer, which that has to do with a lot of the way you communicate. Emotions have to do the way you express yourselves. Rising is what you project to the world, like what you come across as. So I come across as a Pisces, but I'm a Cancer. So more reserved, childlike, innocent, naive. That's a thing I get a lot. Recently, I had a girl that I worked with. She said, "You have a mind of a 12-year-old." Well, it's like if I have Pisces rising, it kind of gives off that childlike vibe that I don't know a lot, but I do know a lot. It's really funny with that. Okay, so my Mercury is in Cancer. My Jupiter's in Cancer. So that has, some people say that's associated with luck. I recently found out that has to do with almost the love department. Like, I recently heard a video. Your Jupiter is your man, and your Venus is your female. Basically, your relationship aspect. My Venus is in Gemini. It's funny because my fiance, he's a Gemini. He has a Gemini moon and an Aquarius rising. So we are very compatible to an extent. It's just some things we have to work through because I'm a Cancer, I'm more emotional. With him being a Gemini, he's more logical in a lot of things. So we do complement each other. And a lot of people don't know, like when it comes to Gemini and Cancer, they're very compatible. Like in the star, they're meant for each other. Like, I have not met a Gemini that has not been with a Cancer or vice versa. Cancer with a Gemini. Because let me tell you, they'll meet people of that nature because in some way they're divinely guided to meet at some point of their life, whether to stay in a relationship or to be friends, because there are the friends of the zodiac. Anyways, my Jupiter's in Cancer, which has to do with luck and stuff, kind of like your work type feel thing, like what you associate as work and stuff, what comes to you. Let's see. So my Uranus and Saturn and Neptune are all in Capricorn. So with this whole thing going on with Uranus for the next 7 years, and Jupiter is in Capricorn, it's kind of like shedding its light on me because, yeah, I'm a Cancer, but my opposite is affected by Capricorn, and I have strong placements of Capricorn. So I don't know. I can come off a little harsh sometimes, especially as Capricorns. I notice Capricorns kind of give the vibe of they don't really talk unless you really talk to them, or they're my opposite. So they're like the father of the zodiac, or the teacher or therapist of the zodiac. They're more in touch with themselves, I feel like. And Cancer's more of, nurture people. They love to take care of people. That's why they probably make great partners, because they're motherly and they want, family, house, everything. But yeah, this whole North Node journey of mine, like becoming more of an Aquarius, and it's really cool because the one Aquarius person that I worked with, he was an Aquarius. His North Node is an Aquarius. So it's really cool because he already knows himself. And people who don't know themselves usually are people with opposite than their sign. But if you have a sign that is in your North Node, you already come into this life knowing who you are. But for me, and like my fiance, his North Node, because I get confused because like his birth rate, we don't know exactly when he's born. He was born at 1 in the morning. That's what his mom said, around that time. So so it's around 1, but I still think it's the same time frame. So he has a North Node in Capricorn and a South Node in Cancer. So it's like he has to learn in this lifetime to not be so codependent of people, to be more independent. So that's kind of like the Aquarius energy if you think about it. And in Cancer, in a past life, he was overgiving. He was taking care of people more. He had kind of had to learn that value about himself, and in this life, not be so codependent, be more independent. And I feel like him as a Gemini, he does have some like with the Cancer South Node, so he goes veer on that Cancer energy, just like I can pick up the Leo energy. So we do complement each other, I feel like, because of that aspect, because the opposite, the Cancer Capricorn placement. So it's like we're very attracted towards each other. So that's really cool. But yeah, in this lifetime, he has to learn to be more independent of himself. and to balance that, he's that boss in this coming life. That's why I feel like we're going to be very successful, especially his placement Capricorn. He has this ability. It's just he has to believe in himself. Just like Aquarius, it's more getting out of my feelings, more into my heart space, like the Leo. But also to not becoming like this place of comfortable place like Leo, where I'm more in my ego or I'm more in my head. But also too with my placements, Uranus and Saturn. Uranus is like the teacher of the zodiac, of the planet Uranus. Neptune is like the dreams, like the aspect of how you dream as a person, your creativity, your skill set. So that's in Capricorn. So I'm very creative. I have it within me to be that boss. Let's see, your Saturn. Your Saturn is kind of that teacher, but also too it has to do with sex as well. But also too, I was thinking, and I've mentioned this to my fiance, is like the north, for his north node to be in Capricorn and south node to be in Cancer. He's very connected with the past. He understands like the ebb and flow of life, and understands that things have cause and effect, kind of like the karmic energy where he understands it. And I feel like as a Cancer, we understand it. But I feel like this whole journey of the Aquarius North Node, I am evolving and I'm becoming more of my own and more understanding and compassionate people. And the way I've heard someone say in a video about the Aquarius North Node is if you have that placement, the way you can really shine, like your past life, you were Leo, you're already shine. You have to, in order to in some way get attention, because Leos want attention. Leos love to be on the spotlight. But in this life, it's reverse, where in order to get the attention for somebody or the spotlight, not in a negative way. I know some people are probably thinking negative, like, "Ooh, look at me," but is you do well when you help people. You do well when you associate with people in like a group setting, and that's where you shine the most, is when you help people. Also Pluto for me, and it's funny because my fiance's Pluto is in the same placement as mine, and that's Pluto, the hidden secrets, desires and stuff, sexuality is in Scorpio. So it's at its home planet. That's pretty much understanding who you are sexually and those hidden aspects of your dark self. Also Chiron, I don't really know my Chiron, is the healing. The lessons you're learning about healing and stuff. Your midheaven is pretty much like your career aspects of how you do well in the career aspect, or you come across as, and that is in Sagittarius. Now I'm confused because one time I looked at my fiance's chart, it said Scorpio. I think something was messed up before I knew the time he was born. It says Scorpio, but he's actually, I think, a midheaven in Sagittarius. So we see the world like a Sagittarius when we want to create things, when like we work like a Sagittarius. So that's kind of a little bit of the astrology understanding of the different placements. Trying to think if there's other things. I know there's a lot about Aquarius when it comes to it. Can be overwhelming sometimes, even for me, learning about it, because it's been about almost 3 years. But yeah, it's getting out of that Leo mentality of that you've got to shine, but in order to shine, you've got to work with people. You've got to realize that as an Aquarius North Node, that it's not about you. It's about when you help people, you help yourself, but you also don't want to overgive too. Especially as a Cancer, having a North Node in Aquarius, I can really get caught in, always focusing and, serving others, helping people, but you've got to come back to yourself and love yourself and accept yourself and know yourself. So I think that's fascinating. But yeah, if anyone has any questions about astrology or anything of that nature, just let me know. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye bye.